We're testing two of the best smart gesture control web cameras, OBSBOT Tiny 2 and Insta360 Link. Which is the better one and why? Let's find out! Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Great to meet you, Michael, the Tech Mishka over here. And about a year and a half ago, I've made a review of Insta360 Link and also compared it to the current generation of OBSBOT's Tiny series back then to conclude that it probably is the best web camera on the market. Now, fast forward to the middle and the end of 2023, and there's the new second generation of OBSBOT Tiny, and I think the expected question, which is the best web camera on the market that you can buy right now. And this video is meant to help you to choose because we're going to compare the image quality, the microphone quality, the gestures, the AI controls, the software, basically everything that you need in order to find out which is the best fit for you. As a starter, we want to focus on the obvious, the design and the build quality, and apparently both packs are well-utilized marketing space. Both units share the concept and idea of integrating PTZ, Pan Tilt Zoom feature, and I think of them as a camera with a gimbal integrated into one single body, controlled by AI and software. Here, Insta360's Link model has the edge about size, being notably smaller and also notably lighter. Not only that, but the Link has its clip mount integrated, while there's a separate magnetic plate that you need to mount on the OBSBOT Tiny 2. Plus, the 3-axis movement capacity, which is quite an advantage in making it rather unique. There's a 2-axis gimbal on Tiny's second generation, which in almost all scenarios is gonna be good enough. I guess we have a clear winner for the first round, slightly better materials and extra axis for movement. If this is what you prioritize, Insta360 Link wins. What we want to do next is to focus on the image quality, and to me personally that's the favorite round, probably the most important for this video because we're going to see the performance of both in various lighting conditions, and I think the theory is pretty clear. Whatever is behind this lens in terms of image sensor should be as big as possible because the bigger it is, the more light is going to reach each and every individual pixel. But how does this work in reality? Time to check some samples. The major difference is notable at dark, where the smaller image sensor inside the Insta360's Link device needs to use higher ISO in order to balance the image, and this is how we notice somewhat more noise. Low light and dynamic range are indeed among the big strengths of the Tiny 2 model. Don't get me wrong, both of these web cameras are spectacular about low light performance, it's just that OBSBOT bring the game on a totally different level. Sharper details, more natural colors, dual native ISO, with the latter one usually considered as a feature that only high-end imaging solutions have access to. And because everything on this new image sensor is so much better, so is the autofocusing much quicker than any other web camera I've ever tested in my life. In most cases, you can even use the OBSBOT Tiny instead of an action camera or point-and-shoot camera if you want to record static videos. It's gonna likely even beat your smartphone about image quality, therefore, in the round which I believe is the most important one, it's Tiny 2 all the way. The extra features and the AI capabilities are also super important, and both of these web cameras can automatically track you, your faces in particular, and they do support also some gestures in order to be controlled remotely, and I think this is pretty fun to explore. Reaction times have been comparable, of course when it comes to the gestures. If the image sensor is better and the processing inside as well, then gestures are gonna be recognized in a quicker fashion, which is exactly what OBSBOT's device delivers. On the other hand, Insta360's device has some fancy features, such as the whiteboard mode, the overhead auto adjustment, sort of a desk mode. You're going to notice similar features with Tiny Generation 2, and because of the more advanced integration of AI, there's now the option for hand tracking and even zone tracking, and thanks to the voice commands, you can entirely go hands-free in terms of operation. So when it comes to gestures, we can see parity in certain conditions, but most times the Tiny 2 is significantly quicker, has a few extra modes and accessories which contribute to yet another round in favor of the OBSBOT device. The next major topic is going to lead us to the software part, namely the way we interact with these two web cameras via software. And OBSBOT have their solution called Webcam, while Insta360 rely on something called Link Controller, and I've had very high expectations about it because Insta360 are famous for creating some fantastic user interfaces, and they already have broad experience from designing such for their X and One RS series, and here I talk about their action cameras. Now, focusing on the webcam, the main screen sees what the web camera sees. You can switch it on or off, take a screenshot or go into portrait mode, 3 possible resolutions. The first tab is the right area for the gimbal controls. A genius idea is to keep presets of certain angles so that you can preserve a mode for your laptop, another one for the desktop station, or a third one for a smartphone or another device. Although, in order to configure the angle, you can just manually hold the camera for a few seconds in the preferred position. The second tab is about tuning the image. Yes, advanced controls about everything. Exposure compensation, contrast, sharpness, saturation. Most of these settings are great at their auto values, but in case you need to look black and white, it's a few clicks away. The last tab is the most interesting one, fine-tuning of the gestures or entirely switching them off. You can notice similar setup and features provided by OBSBOT software. A plus is the newer hardware inside this webcam. Computing is a lot more, and there even is an adoption of USB 3.0 in terms of connectivity, providing significantly greater bandwidth and better responsiveness from the software itself. There's greater precision about the choice for video recording resolutions and frame rates. HDR mode in 4K, an option to mirror the image, even the beautify mode, which, might feel weird sometimes. Also, the usual firmware-related settings. For sure, in the last few months, OBSBOT have improved their software a lot. And at the moment, I feel that you're gonna be equally happy with either of these. So in this round, I guess we can agree upon having parity. However, important to know that in case online streaming is your priority, OBSBOT offer more accessories and integration for some more platforms. Microphone testing, and it's gonna be you to pick the winner this time. And currently I'm recording with the inbuilt microphone inside Insta360 Link. And yes, there's a lot more echo because I'm standing at a distance from the web camera. And now listen carefully because we're testing Tiny 2's inbuilt microphone. And it's your turn to tell me in the comments below which of these 2 web cameras has the better performing microphone. Price-wise, this is the least subjective part, because numbers won't lie, $299 versus $329, with both of them getting discounted from time to time. Now, obviously, the time to answer to the big question, which of these 2 web cameras you should buy and why. And if you're searching for the best one based on the image quality, the microphone quality, the software performance, the overall performance, I would say Tiny Generation 2 is hell of an amazing web camera, probably the best of 2023, and most likely it can hold this title for the whole 2024. Only time can show though. But the Insta360 Link is not too far behind, offering some exceptional features at a very reasonable price. Speaking of the price, I guess given the very similar construction and mostly identical or very close features, whichever you can buy at a better price would make some great sense. And still, if you're searching for the best one, I would say that would be the OBSBOT Tiny Generation 2. So that's everything about this comparison. In case you want to share about your opinion, or you believe there's another web camera deserved to be called the best of 2023, the comments are the right place to go and talk about it. As usual, more information about the products, some ways to support my work here on the channel, you're going to find in the video description area. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a sign, subscribe for more cool tech inspections, and I'm Michael. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye bye!